Let's take a look at a circular motion problem. And we're going to be swinging a bucket vertically in a circle. Now, as it swings in a circle, first, what is the direction of the velocity? So the velocity is in the direction that it's moving. So if we swing it counterclockwise, it would be in this direction. What is the direction of the acceleration? For an object moving in a circle, the acceleration, the centripetal acceleration at the highest point is going to be towards the center. Also, the net force at the highest point will also be towards the center. And this is why we call it the centripetal force, because it is center seeking. Another question we can ask is, what is the gravitational force acting on the bucket at the highest point? And given that the mass of the bucket is 2.0 kilograms, to find the gravitational force, we could use Fg equals mg. The mass is 2, g is 9.8, the gravitational field strength. What do we get? 2 times 9.8, and we get 19.6 newtons. Another question we can ask is, what is the acceleration? What is the centripetal acceleration? And we have an equation for that. It requires us to know what is the speed that it's moving at that highest point. And the speed in this case is 3.0 meters per second. So to find the centripetal acceleration, this is the center seeking. It is center seeking, so it's towards the center. It is v squared divided by r. V is 3, so we have 3 squared divided by we also need to know the radius, which in this case is 0.8 meters. So 3 squared divided by 0.8, and we get 11.25 meters per second squared, right? So we're going to go ahead and bracket these. We might be using them in just a little bit. So we know the acceleration. What about the net force? What about the net force? Well, there's a couple ways to calculate the net force. We could use the centripetal force, which is equal to mv squared over r. V would be the speed at that highest point, and we know what r is. That would be one way. Can you think of another way, given the information that we have? What is another way that we can do to solve this? If you remember from first semester, that the net force is equal to ma, right? Can we use this? Yeah. So this is a more general version. Well, this is for something moving in a circle. All right. So the net force is equal to ma, and m is 2. And we already calculated a, which is 11.25, right? So 2 times 11.25 is 22.5 in newtons. All right, so that is your net force. What else can we solve here? We know that there are 2 forces acting on the bucket. How do we know that? Well, let's draw a force diagram. So at the highest point here is our bucket. And our highest point, we have gravity force, okay? And we're pulling in a circle. We have a rope as well. And so there could be some tension force, okay? So the net force here is Fg plus Ft. All right, so the net force is equal to Fg plus Ft. Why do we add these? Because sometimes we subtract them, sometimes we add them. Why are we adding them here? Well, when the forces are in the same direction, we add them. Okay, and we also know what the net force should be. It's 22.5 newtons. So we're going to set this equal to 22.5 newtons. And then we know what Fg is, right? We calculated 19.6, so we have 19.6 newtons plus Ft is equal to 22.5 newtons. Okay, so I'm going to subtract 19.6 on both sides. We get Ft, the tension force, is equal to 2.9 newtons. All right, so what does this number tell us? This number tells us the tension force that's needed to swing this bucket in a circle such that at the highest point it has a speed of 3 meters per second. Now let's take a look at if we were to swing this bucket all the way to the bottom, what can we calculate about this bucket at the bottom of this vertical circle? Well, first we can calculate the gravity force, which is Fg equals mg. And you'll notice that the gravity force is the same because the mass is the same, right? So the mass is the same. The gravitational field strength is the same. So 2 times 9.8, we still get 19.6 newtons. Now, as we swing it in a circle, it's not unusual for it to speed up. So at the lowest point, the speed at the bottom, we have 6 meters per second. What else can we calculate here? We can also calculate the acceleration. So the acceleration, the centripetal acceleration. Now be careful that there is also something called a tangential acceleration. So centripetal acceleration is going to be towards the center, while a tangential acceleration is going to be tangent to the circle. And you can have a tangential acceleration if it's speeding up or if it's slowing down. But if it's going at uniform circular motion, meaning that it's going at constant speed in a circle, you're just going to have centripetal acceleration. And the centripetal acceleration component is equal to v squared over r. The v is 6, so we have 6 squared, and we have r, which is 0.8. So 6 squared divided by 0.8, and we get 45 meters per second squared. Okay. Now, a question to think about, can an object moving at constant speed in a circle have a centripetal acceleration, have an acceleration? And the answer is yes. Even though an object moving in a circle at constant speed, I know it's not in this one, but even though if it were going at constant speed, it can have an acceleration because even though the speed's not changing, the direction is changing. And so it does have an acceleration. All right, next, can we calculate the net force? And yes, we can. We can use our F equals ma, Newton's second law. We could also use mv squared over r. That is definitely another option as well. But since we have the acceleration already over here, let's go ahead and use that. So the net force is equal to ma. The mass is 2. The acceleration is 45. So our net force is 90 newtons. Next, let's take a look at the tension. What do you think the tension is? What's the first step here in figuring out what the tension is? Perhaps we want to draw a force diagram. So let's go ahead and do that. So here's my force diagram. Here's my bucket at the bottom. And what are the directions of the forces? Well, we have Fg, which is going to be down, and that's going to be the same as before. But we're also going to have another force, the tension force. The rope is pulling up on it. And do you think that force will be smaller, same, or longer than our mg? Well, it's going in a circle, so it has a centripetal net force, and that centripetal net force is towards the center. There's a net force towards the center in order for it to go in a circle. And so that tension force has to be longer than mg. All right, so what do we have here? So we have the net force, which is just means the sum of the forces is equal to, and because they're in opposite directions, we're going to subtract them. The force going towards the center, we're going to take that, minus the force going away from the center, the force going in the positive direction. And when you're going a circle, we usually will make the direction towards the center positive. So at the bottom, the center is up, so we're making that positive. So to find the net force, we take the force in the positive direction minus the force in the negative direction. Okay, and we know what the net force is. So now we're just going to substitute. So we have 90 Ft is what we're looking for. And mg, we calculated that was 19.6. Okay, so we're going to add 19.6 on both sides, and we get that Ft is equal to 109.6 newtons. All right, if you found this video helpful, check out my next video on circular motion.